Hey, this is Politics with Laura, and I got a good one for you today. Oh, it's a good one. Oh, someone caught me dancing. I like that one. I like that instrumental. There's two I really like. Oh, my goodness. It is on. It is on. Now I got to ask you a question. The way politics is going, the Democrats, Joe Biden, do you think he's for all Americans, some Americans, or no Americans? I'll wait. I got time. Look, love him or hate him. He is so easy to dislike. It's hard to like Donald Trump. I mean, there are so many things about him that is just unlikable. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. There's so many things that are so unlikable about that man. However, I think I think the United States, or the government, I shall say, is starting to turn against all its people. Now, this is where you all dominant society are going to have to eat some crow because you allowed it to happen. At least a portion of you did not, but a majority of you silent people, silence is violence. As long as it wasn't happening to you, it was okay. It wasn't happening to you. So as long as there were black people, Spanish people, Asian people, well, not really Asian people, no, but black, mostly black, getting killed out on the street by the alphabet group, it was okay. You come up with things like, what did he do? Or he shouldn't have moved, or he should have listened to everything what he said. Now, now it's starting to turn towards a dominant society because it got everything sewn up. Everything is sewn up. Now they passed the act to where they are having IRS people with guns. Oh, it's on. It's on. It is so on. It is on. And as long as it was anyone else except for you, it was okay. Now it's you. Who's going to help you now? Who? Who's going to help you now? Who? Black people can't help you. And then if they were able to, you got to ask yourself, would they? Would we help? Asian people, well, they have protected class because you gave it to them because of the COVID. But you quickly gave it to them. And I get why. Now you have Latinos, they're coming in. You're gonna make them, and this is simply my opinion because I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh, I see what's going on. I see it. Black people are too mouthy, marching, don't want to get killed out in the streets. They don't want to get left out. They want safe communities. But look, you all need to stop this. Saying that Chicago is a dangerous place. You always run to Chicago. Always stop doing that. And if you're going to use statistics, use it correctly. Stop coming out with half the pie or a quarter of the pie, but you forget the rest of the pie. Talk about, well, black people are 13% of the population, but they make up 50% of the crime. Now, you can get over on that on people who are the uninitiated, and you always do. You don't talk to any thinking people. There's this one young lady. Oh man, I can't remember her name, but Devin Gibson, Devon, I can't quite remember. Gibson was co-signing on her, and you need to stop doing that foolish stuff too. But keep in mind, people shoot and kill where they live, just like white areas. They shoot and kill where they live. Now, if we were to pull your statistics, what is it, like 80%? Now, black people make up like what, 50 million? And there's 300 million? And there's like what, 250 million white people? But 13% of the total population is for all the crime? All the crime? That's disingenuous. Not disingenuous. That's a straight damn lie, and you know it. And if you're not ashamed, you ought to be ashamed because it's so easy to do that. But back to my original thing. But now the government is on to you now. You were a good filler. You were a you were great. You kept people at bay, and you did a good job at it. Now they don't need you anymore. Democrats have most definitely, they're doing it now. But don't believe me. Don't believe nothing that I say. Listen to Sean Wilkes. He's stunned. Check him out.
That's what President Biden was warned about a week ago by a group of esteemed historians at a private meeting at the White House. The historians, one of whom is my next guest, compared the threat facing America to the era leading up to the Civil War and to the pro-fascist movements that preceded World War II. And that was before this week's raid on Mar-a-Lago, quote unquote, and its incendiary polarizing effects. There were death threats against the judge who issued the warrant, and online attacks on the entire FBI, plus a physical attack on the Cincinnati field office by an armed man who'd been at the Capitol on January 6th and who was fatally shot after a standoff. On Monday night, the phrase Civil War was trending on Twitter. One user on Trump's social media platform, Truth Social, said, F a civil war, give them a revolution. Joining me now to discuss is Sean Wilentz, who attended the meeting with President Biden. He's a professor of history at Princeton University. Professor, good to see you. You have said that when a nation loses faith in elections, democracy is dead. Are we there yet?
No, we're not there yet.
Keep in mind, please keep this in mind, we're not a democracy, we are a republic. Democracy is an idea that would always remain an idea. But we're a republic, one person, one vote.
But first of all, good morning, Michael. It's great to be here with you. I mean, look, what we said to the president, I can't go into in any detail, right? But generally, as a historian, I think we're in a very, very difficult situation, to say the least. There really have been three periods I liken it to, or rather, there are three periods that stand out. One is, as you said before, the decade leading up to the Civil War. Secondly, the 1930s, during midst of the global economic collapse. And then a longer period, actually, it's culminated in what we have now, but it really goes back at least to the 90s and hit an inflection point, I think, around 2000. In which, now, what's common to all three are two things. First of all, it's global as well as domestic. All of these are situations where, the situation for democracy worldwide was in crisis. And it was in combination with that the events unfolded in the United States. But secondly, it has to do with legitimacy. I mean, that's the key to all of this, is when the basic institutions of the country are being called in, the legitimacy of those institutions is being called into serious question.
Oh, big time. Most definitely big time. I mean, we, at one time when Barack Obama was elected, you had people screaming, he's not my president. Then when, who was it? After Barack Obama, then it was, he's not my president. Then Trump, he's not my president. I mean, and now Biden, oh, people are screaming, he's not my president. It's done. It is done, but let's hear him.
That certainly happened before the Civil War. It led to secession when the slaveholders' rebellion, in which they said, "Look, we don't believe in your constitution. Your constitution is wrong. We have our own. Goodbye." In the 1930s, when there were these fascist movements, but more than that, there were real attempts to take over the government, not just by the German-American Bund or something, but there was a banker's plot. There were all kinds of things that were going on that were trying to unsettle American democracy. And then more recently, and which.
Oh, hold on for a second. When he said the banker's plot, the bankers run this country. Big business. The politicians work for the bankers, no longer us, because we are not we, but you all allowed it to happen because you were too busy looking the other way. You let the country go.
You see not only elections, as you said before, elections being called into question. January 6th, but then you go back to November 22nd, 2000, in which there was another mob tried to stop the counting of votes in Miami-Dade. It may have affected the election. All along, the basic institutions of government. Now we have even the FBI, law enforcement, is being called into question. Those are moments, I think, when democracy really is in trouble, and we're certainly at that one of those moments now.
Okay, so when you look at those three episodes that you compare what we're going through now to, where's the light at the end of the tunnel? How do they end, and what can move us forward and keep this union together?
Yeah, I mean, I'm an historian. Sometimes I wish I had a crystal ball. I don't know. History does not give us those kinds of lessons. Thus far, the United States has been very lucky in a way that we had leaders like Abraham Lincoln and.
I'm sorry, history. Not only does it give you lessons, but it also gives you patterns of things that are going on, as he laid out. Oh, it's on. It's just a matter of time to where we all are fighting out in the street for different reasons.
And FDR to guide us through this, may not have that kind of leadership today. But besides all of that, we don't know where things are going to change institutionally, but we do know that at the bottom of all of it are the voters in the end. I mean, that's what's going to matter. And, it's going to be up to the voters to vote in people who are going to be able to restore the legitimacy of these institutions. And, I do think we're in a dangerous situation. I would agree with you, by the way, about everybody should just take a deep breath right now. Instead of jumping to conclusions, figuring out what's going to happen.
Take a deep breath right now. Oh, that right there is nice. Take a deep breath. Ah, man, how many times have I gone to meetings and groups when pastors would come out and say, "Okay, people, yes, he got shot 50 times, but let's stay calm. It's going to get better." Did it? No. Now, let me let him finish.
Hear what's going to happen there. The argument at the core between the Democrat and the Republican. Everybody should try to calm down. That would be the first thing I'd say. We don't know what's going to happen. We've seen the cover of a book.
Professor, one of the problems is we can't agree. We can't agree on facts. We can't agree on truth.
Yeah.
When you speak of lack of faith in institutions, I think of the media.
I'm sorry, I have to keep on interrupting because I don't want to strike. Truth. Oh my goodness. This country has fallen down a rabbit hole of truth. Truth is subjective. Everybody's running around saying, my truth, my truth. What about the truth? The truth is we are in big trouble as a whole. And you're screaming about my truth. We're going to have to open up and show that it's just more than just me. We got to stop with this narcissism because we are in a sinking boat. Actually, the boat's already sunk. But
where we're all getting our information from opposite ends of the spectrum.
I completely agree, and it's a real problem. We've never seen, there wasn't an internet in 1860. There wasn't social media in 1932, 33. We're in a world now which is beyond my comprehension as an historian. I look to the past, I can't quite figure out what's going on right now. So I'm not, terribly.
You look to the past as beyond your comprehension. You must be looking at the wrong people, because this right here has been said. I mean, black folks have been saying, even Tupac said it back in the 90s, the 80s. Oh, goodness gracious. What's Langston Hughes said a deferred dream. I don't know who he is looking at, but he missed a whole genre, because black people have been saying it for a long time. Now it just hit you, and now you don't know what to do. The answer is there. You're just not looking in all places. You're only looking in one place, but not all places. And even in a crisis, it's a shame that you let me.
Optimistic. I'm just giving you what would have to happen. I'm not sure it's going to happen.
Final question. I know you can't share with us what you told the president. Whatever it is you told the president, did he seem to get the message?
Oh, I think he gets it. He understands the situation we're in. He doesn't have any easy answers either, but I think he's going to do the best he can to lead the country. I mean, that's very clear. And that's the best he can do. We can all just do our jobs, and I think he's going to try to do his as best he can.
I like the idea that he brings in.
Okay. Can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. Look, if we are looking for Joe Biden to get us out of this mess, number one, where's he at? I haven't seen him in a little while. He doesn't even he is just a guy just signing papers. He is not running this country. Kamala Harris, who knows where she is? She's out there laughing like, I don't want to call her laughing. She just spends all her time laughing and dancing and oh, that's so embarrassing. Well, not yeah, it is embarrassing. And the fact that she pimped the black people. Number one, she never had black people's experiences. She's not. She's half Indian and half Jamaican. Not a black American. But but outside of that, where's she at? Who knows? She's probably out there doing electric slide someplace. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But Biden allowed the FBI to go after Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump, he is he's hard to like. He is hard to like because he does too many terrible things, in my humble opinion. But it doesn't mean that you go and raid his place. You raid his place, say that he took top secret information or whatever it is. Well, he was a president and he did declassified whatever it was. But let's talk about the guy Clinton. Okay, Bill Clinton. Oh, I never voted for him. Both times I voted for Ross Perot. I was a Democrat at that time, and he just didn't seem right to me. So many things that didn't seem right. He's running around playing a saxophone, playing and doing this and doing that, kissing babies, and he didn't seem right to me. I couldn't articulate it. I didn't know what it was, but I knew that he just was not right to me. Yeah, my spidey senses went off. Now, when he left the White House, he took some stuff, and not only that, he pardoned his former CIA director classified documents in his home computer. So it's like, hey, we're going to take this information, we're going to call it classified, but since it's so classified, we can take it home and do whatever. It's not. It's. Let me say. I'm not going to say it's not in the Constitution because I would have to go back over it and look, but for them to do the stuff that they do. Now, here, same picture with Bill Clinton. Now, Bill Clinton's records was found in his drawer, Clinton's drawer. A 2012 court case denying access to the White House audio tapes in former Bill Clinton's sock drawer after he left office, and they're trying to get it back, and it's in his sock drawer. He's not going to. Did the FBI come down there and raid his house? Did you see them coming with all these guns and everything? No. They're like, well, I can't get it. And now, now you send the FBI down there with guns surrounding Trump's house. Now, I get it. Trump is a person that's hard to like. I agree. Calling women fat pigs and all this other stuff is the things that he says. Now, not what he does, it's things that he says. Oh, man, 10 years. A 10-year-old court ruling issued to you, and this is where Trump got you. Now, Trump don't pay people. That's why he had to go back and use some rappers, lawyers, and this is a move up for the rappers, lawyers, because they can move up in defend different people. But that's neither here nor there. Issued by a U.S. District Court, Judge Amy Berman Jackson rejected the argument by the conservative watchdog group that saw access to dozens of tapes recorded by Mr. Clinton, the historian Taylor Branch, during his administration. So even the court said, no, he's the president. He could do what he wants with those top secret info. That was in his time. That's it. But Donald Trump, they send the FBI after him. Oh yeah, it's getting real. It is getting real. So Judge Jackson ruled that the tapes belonged to Mr. Clinton, even though the discussion included a broad range of presidential matters. The court ruled that the National Archives and Record Administration had no power to seize control of them because Mr. Clinton had used his authority under the Presidential Record Act to declare the recordings part of his personal records. Now, oh man, where is he? I'm sorry, I'm trying to do this. I can't get it. Okay, that's not working for me. All right. Well, Trump, they're going after Trump. And now things are starting to implode. Now, I said in a previous video, the United States is imploding on itself, or shall I call it the changing of the guards? That's what I call it, changing of the guards. Things are changing. Pretty soon, the Democratic Party, they're messing up so badly, there's only going to be maybe a one party. Republicans, Democrats, I just don't see it. They're imploding on themselves. You got so much infighting. The Democrats and Republicans are fighting. You have Democrats, moderate Democrats, and conservative Democrats are fighting with the neoliberals. I mean, this is wild. And now you have the Tea Party Republicans fighting with the moderate Republicans, and then the moderate, and then the Tea Party conservatives Tea Party Republicans or the Tea Party, and then you have the other conservatives are like, look, this is a little bit crazy. All this fighting. You have all this infighting. Just what was it? I just did a video, not in Connecticut. Yeah, Connecticut. Oh, what is the woman's name? She just beat the minority leader in the House. And her name just leaves me. It's not Lentz. Oh, goodness. But she just won a newcomer. President Trump endorsed her. And whomever Trump endorses, they get in. And they are beating these moderate Republicans. They're beating them. Now, for me, I just see it as this. I I see all this fighting, and I'm sitting back and I'm watching. I'm just watching. And the only thing that I can do is just simply say, look, give me what belongs to me. You're giving everyone else their due. The Asians have the Asian Hate Act. COVID hit, and they get special protection. You have the LGBTQ. They fought and said that they are a special class. They need special rights and protections. And now they're taking it, the transgenders are taking it to another step. Now the LGBTQ, they got a lot of fighting within them, because now you have the gays and the lesbians and the bisexuals are losing jobs and losing other things because the transgenders are like, well, this and the gays and the lesbians are just like, wait a minute, what am I supposed to do with this? I'm losing my job because they want to change pronouns. I mean, it's wild. This whole country is falling apart. This whole world is falling apart. And it's all economical. But even though it's economical, but you see the social aspects of it. Oh, we're done. We are done. And all this I can't make that statement. All this could have been avoided because it was going to happen anyway. Because as long as one group of people is the whooping boy, you're not seeing what's coming up behind you because you're too busy whipping on other people. You don't see that you're getting ready to encroach on your own party, your own people, and that's exactly what's happening. Well. What is going to happen here? What is going to happen here? The only thing that I can do is just sit down and watch it. And Trump, and actually, I mean, it's been coming little by little. Matter of fact, what was it, Montana? I want to say Montana or Minnesota. I'll stick with Montana. A couple of years ago, you had people that stormed the Capitol in Montana. And they had guns in the Capitol because they were like, oh no, this is not going to happen. You're going to do something. And then when you had January 6th, you had all the people that stormed the Capitol, the United States Capitol, to where everyone can see. That was okay. That was okay. Now, I did a video on this. Before that, a black woman drove her car around there, and she was having some mental health issues. And they put 10 bullets into her with her child in the back seat. She never even put her foot out of the car. But where was all that smoke for all the people up there? Well, even before that, a gentleman, another black person. Actually, I think one white person got killed. I have to go back and look. But when it's black people, it's all right. But now that it's white people, oh, it's going to spiral out of control fast. And when you come at me and say, well, how comes you didn't organize? Well, whenever we try to organize, it was always COINTELPRO. The government would break it up in some way, but they were too busy focusing on us that they weren't paying attention to you. And now that this happened to Trump, I see people out there with guns, walking around with guns. Police officers didn't arrest anybody. Nothing was done. You can't tell me that this is not crime or something major to happen, as you saw what they were writing. Forget about a civil war, go straight to a revolution. Well, I'm going to leave it as that. Leave it as that. So if you think I'm wrong about anything, please, I'm going to timestamp this. At least, please give me the time that you're talking about. And if you like my content, please like and subscribe. If you don't, subscribe, dislike, and tell me why you don't like my video. On that note, I thank you and I appreciate you.